What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Second Avenue Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Linares.
I'm your other host, Elijah Venencia. Welcome back, everybody. I'm gonna kick it off with some huge news here. I've kept this really low key. Jonathan doesn't even know yet. So as you all know, sneakerhead here, of course. I think it was not this. I think it was the last week. I think it was this past week. We've been like 10 days off recording. That's a very long time for us. But Travis Scott, he released a new Jordan 1 Low. Obviously didn't hit on sneakers, but
okay.
Your boy paid resell. He took the L.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
so
kind of a dub though still.
Yeah, just from the moment I saw him, I was like, I gotta have him. Sneakers is a scam. So sneakers app is a scam. So I was whatever. I'll bite the bullet, finish my college classes for the summer. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll reward myself.
Yeah, that's a little celebration. When you said you had the news, I thought you were gonna say you hit. If you would have hit, that would have been big news.
No, yeah. I had to drop the bag though, so
I don't even want to know how much they were, but I respect the purchase. Yeah. I respect the purchase. That's kind of a dub though still. It's a fire pair, so
yeah, no, definitely. It's been one of my favorite pairs he's dropped. So I needed a pair of Jordan 1 Lows. I got a bunch of highs. So
I was gonna say I want a pair of Jordan 1 Lows. I was talking to the boy Z Kicks. Might have to make a purchase. We'll see.
Yeah, Z Kicks was trying to like connect, but Goat beat him out on pricing. So money talks. I'll wait a couple weeks.
That's how it be. Man, this is the longest we've gone from recording episodes. This is the latest in the week we've ever recorded. This is Sunday night, so less than 12 hours till it's going to drop, which is a little bit wild. But we recorded the last episode like Wednesday before it released. So yeah, this is like 10 days or whatever. This is a long gap between episodes. It feels a little weird to get back in the episode, but hey, I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, no, same here. It's been a minute, and obviously me catching flights and everything, all these places. So
yeah, I was gonna say so much has happened since last time. So
yeah, we got a lot to get into in terms of what I was doing last week.
So I think we should get into it. Tell us about Rolling Loud. We really haven't talked that much about Rolling Loud in your experience because I kind of wanted to say for the podcast, have that good dialogue on here and just, talk about who you saw, who your favorite people were. Yeah, obviously the Kid Cudi thing was a big disappointment a little bit, but I want to hear what you got to say about it.
Friday was the first day. Thursday I took a big L at the casino. Got some money, ended up losing $400. I went there with that money to lose, I guess. So wasn't the worst thing ever. But whatever. I feel like when you're on vacation, you're gonna spend money, of course. So then, performances started off Thursday. 2 Chainz was AB was the first artist I saw. The GOAT, that's a must. He came out of football, like spelled AB. It was nuts. He was performing Kanye songs. AB was a very good live performer too. He was lit, throwing footballs in the crowd and shit. So
yeah, you said that. That's kind of surprising. Like he hasn't been, in the rap game for too long, but he's definitely making a little impact here. He's getting all the appearances. I think he was at Lyrical
Lemonade.
That's
a legend too. Regardless.
Yeah. He's set for life even without football.
Exactly. And he did a little set in the VIP crowd, and that was fucking nuts. I mean, we were right on the railing watching it, and it was fucking insane. Then, 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz came correct. His set list it may have been the best I heard all weekend. Kicked it off with No Lie. That's like one of my favorite songs by him, of course. I'm Different, birthday song, 4 a.m. It was just banger after banger. Shorter set list, of course, because he's not a headliner. And then Snot. We transitioned into Snot. It was pretty lit. Pits were crazy for that. I mean, as expected, of course. One of the crazier pits of the weekend, I will say.
I'd say he's from Florida, isn't he? So they got to show love.
Yeah, he's a jet.
Oh yeah. Back to 2 Chainz though. 2 Chainz, I will say, I saw him at Chances Festival in 2016, and it was him and Lil Wayne as Collard Grove that did a duo set, and that was fire because it was like under Collard Grove. So I didn't know, like, are they going to only do Collard Grove songs? What's happening? But they both did their individual songs as well as their collabs, and it was hits. I mean, with Wayne and Chainz, deep catalogs.
Yeah,
hits for days. They could have gone for hours. They probably had like 1 hour, but it was crazy. They played all the classics.
Yeah, No Problem as well. That was another one that just hip. I mean, of course. And then this is where it started going down. Sun started going down at this point and everything. Don Tolliver had a crazy pit. I wasn't expecting it, and the pits were nuts for Don. And then I wasn't too much in the pits. I'll explain that why a little bit later. But for Cardi, I had to be in the trenches. I had to see how hittable the fans were, and yeah, it was their S tier.
S tier, okay.
Yeah, the Cardi stands are different. You got motherfuckers walking around in Joker makeup and shit. Like, it was just in 100-degree heat. It was
Yeah,
nuts. I've never seen anything like. Vamps came out crazy pissed. So first Cardi, I think he was performing during J. Cole in New York. So obviously I got to see J. Cole, and first time seeing Cardi, it was pretty good. It was nuts.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things going into Cardi that I think make him a great live performer. Obviously, you got the energy, but I feel like the production on his music is just such like hard. It's just so hard. You're gonna get the absolute just heat on the beats, and there's gonna be super hard hitting, especially with speakers that big and that loud. It's gonna be a good time. But I love just imagining like a sea of like basketball jerseys, baseball jerseys, and then you just got the Cardi fans. I guarantee you could just point out which kids are there to see Cardi.
No, definitely. It was like that. And another thing, we were fucking dying on the ride home. We were like, what if Cardi just is up there just doing his ad libs? Fucking, that's all he's saying. And I don't know why. It's just one of those funny moments where you just had to be there. But
yeah, but I would pay to see that.
Yeah, I mean, actually, just think about that.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be kind of hard. Yeah, I want to see Cardi sometime, but I feel like the crowd that would be at a Cardi show, I wouldn't want to be around, but I would like to see Cardi.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously not one of my favorite artists out there, but I think if he's at a festival, I'm gonna see him.
Yeah, for sure.
And then on the main stage, main headliner, Kid Cudi.
Yeah. Hey, we all know what happened, I think.
Yeah, I got very close. I was very excited, and all of us kind of agreed. He came out kind of weak. It wasn't playing the fucking bangers of the world. He played Marijuana. That's when we were like, oh, he's starting to get into some classics. And obviously, with the incident with the water bottle or water packet, which, I mean, to be fair, everybody was getting hit with them. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? I'll let you go first.
I don't know. Obviously, I respect what he did. I will say that if the fans are being disrespectful, he doesn't have to take that. He can leave if he wants. So I respect him 100% for walking off because it's kind of fucked up. But I mean, obviously, it's gonna be some backlash if you do that. You know what I mean? And a lot of fans waited. A lot of fans spent money to see him. I know they're probably a little disappointed they didn't get to see Ye, but Cudi is still, like one of the greatest from our time. So
another thing too. There really wasn't Kanye chance. Like I was fucking front row damn near, and there was not. I don't know like where this narrative if there was Kanye chance going on the whole time. Like, I mean, if there was, I couldn't hear him, and I was front row. I mean, frustrating.
Definitely frustrating.
I mean, from an outside perspective, someone not there, I get it. But I mean, for me personally, Dirk was someone I wanted to see. I ended up going to see him, obviously, a little bit further back. I made the tough choice. I was like, I don't think I'll see Kid Cudi again. And I just don't think I'll be able to listen to him again, to be honest. Yeah, I see the video of me removing all his projects from my playlist. And then, I mean, the cherry on top really was I wanted to watch Dirk anyways, and then Dirk brings out Kanye. I'm far back for Kanye. It was still lit, of course, but I would have loved to be right up there for when that Father Stretch My Hands beat hit. So
yeah, that'd have been pretty cool. The Kanye surprise appearance, I think, was so surprising just because he was on the lineup and then he backed out or whatever. That couldn't work it out, and then he still comes out. That is just a bizarre move. I don't know if it had anything to do with the fact that it was Cudi. Who knows?
I mean, there was obviously the speculation for the Kid See Ghost reunion, and then I don't know, because Cudi tweeted something about a friend coming out. So
so you think it could have been
I don't know.
Kanye.
I mean, you tell me, because it doesn't really make sense for him to come out with Dirk either. I mean, they obviously have songs together and everything, but it seemed kind of thrown together.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of surprising, but I will say I was wondering if it was supposed to be Travis Scott that came out, and then
Oh,
he cut the set short, so then he came out for Future.
um, my thing with that as well is, he was posting Future for the whole week and everything. So
That's true too. Yeah, I could see it either way. Maybe Travis is gonna come out both times. You never know. That people go crazy. I'm sure either way.
definitely. It was a solid first day. Solid, very solid first day. I would say it was the worst out of the three though. Just because of the Kid Cudi stuff for me.
Respect. Yeah, I mean that's very understandable, especially like I think the headliner is obviously a big reason why you want to go, and then if something with that falls through, it's going to definitely bring the day down a little bit.
Definitely. Moving on to day two though. Babytron,
Mm,
first artist I saw of the day, had him on the smaller VH1 stage, so it was just a pretty compact crowd, but it was crazy. He held up live, of course. I've obviously getting a little more into Babytron since the XSL freshman list, and he was worth seeing, definitely. In my opinion, he's one of the earlier performers, of course, but he killed it for the time he did have. Moving on, we had Nardo Wick. He had like a tent stage.
hmm
It was crazy in there for Nardo. Fans going crazy. They were almost out of the tent. The tent was huge. They went crazy for Nardo.
I would say I'd never been to like a tent stage at any festival I've been to. I don't think there's any at Lala. That's really the only festival I've been to besides Lyrical Lemonade. So I've never seen one, but like when I see them on Coachella online and then Rolling Loud online, I think the tent was just hit a little bit different. Like they seem pretty cool.
It does. Yeah. I would like to see, an artist potentially bigger than Nardo. I don't know how it would go, of course, but those stages, they get crazy in there.
Yeah, I watched a couple of videos from Rolling Loud performances, and I watched Action Bronson. I think he was in a tent because he
Mhm.
was like pretty late in the night.
Yeah, he was.
Just because obviously like he's big enough, but he's not the headliner on the main stage status. So I think he's a good option for you don't want to see the headliner. Makes sense. And I think Sheck West was also later on one of the tent stages, and those both obviously very different, but like looked good in their own ways.
Definitely. And it was like really crazy. They had 5 stages. That was so for New York, they did 3. Last year for Miami, they did 3. This year they went crazy and did 5. So
Mm,
it was it was something. It was a little hard to navigate, but I mean, mainly there was like the Ciroc stage that was they were the second headliners, like the number 2s that like Dirk performed there, Trippie Red. I can't remember the third day. And then you had the others, or oh, that was the Go Puff stage, not Ciroc stage. Ciroc stage had main headliners. Those were my 2
mm.
mains, though, of course. Um, but I mean, Nardo really killed it. Who Won't Smoke was lit, of course. He did some new songs from Who Is Nardo Wick too, so it was pretty lit. I really enjoyed him live as well.
It's pretty fire.
Um,
I don't really know much of his music, but at least Who Wants Smoke would definitely hit live for sure.
Next, this was rough. This is like what made my decision to stop doing the pits as much, just because it was so hot, my body was worn out, and Ski Mask, he went crazy in New York. Ground was vibrating in New York, and I don't know if the ground was vibrating in Miami, but I'm sure it was, just how crazy it was in there. That was probably since there was no
Yeah.
Travis, that was probably the best pit that I was at.
I could see that. I saw him at Lyrical Lemonade in like 2018, and that was pretty lit. Like, he's definitely crazy, and that was like, you know, in the peak of like him and X stuff, and it was a great time.
He brought out X's son as well.
Ooh,
Yeah, they did Roll in Peace. It was pretty cool. It was a cool moment. They brought his son. Son was obviously crying. There's way too many people, but yeah, it was a good tribute. I got a really nice picture. I'll have to send that to you, but it was a good time for Ski Mask.
yeah. I feel like Ski Mask. I feel like he hasn't been dropping too much like as of late, so I feel like he's almost getting overlooked. So glad to hear that he's still putting on a show, especially in Florida. He's
Yeah,
always going to come through.
definitely. From Fort Lauderdale, so Miami's not too far. The Jet held it down.
Straight up.
And then moving on, who did we? Oh, so then Uzi performed. I went to get food during Uzi because I'd already seen Uzi in New York, and I feel like he wasn't going to top that performance there for me. So I was kind of at the back for the end of it. He did a lot of the he did cigarettes, which is a banger. That's been stuck in all of our heads. It was really good live, and you know, I took the L, but I was like, I'll go back a little bit. I need some water. I need a piece of pizza in me or something. So
Fact. Sometimes you gotta make that sacrifice, but it's a tough one to do. Like I would just love to be close, but like when I went to my first festival, Lala in 2017, I waited to see Chance. I was like, I'm gonna be close to Chance, 100%. I gotta be. So my friend and I went there, and we just went to the stage, stood there all day. We saw Glass Animals and Alt J, two other like indie rock type groups, and then Chance eventually came out. But man, we grinded, did not leave, did not go get water, did not go to the bathroom. And then last year I went to see Tyler, and I with my sister and our cousin Sammy, and we were making moves. We were going around all the different stages, and then we still end up like 25th row or whatever for Tyler. And it's like, that was like way better. Like we actually got to move around, got to see other people, whereas just standing there for 6 hours is kind of a grind.
yeah, no, it's definitely a grind. But the Camelback saved my life. I'll never do a festival without one of those. Now I didn't do New York with one, but it's a necessity, especially in Miami.
Oh, I 100% could see that being clutch in Miami, especially. I have never gone with one. I always just bring like a big water bottle, which is like kind of annoying, just like hold a big ass water bottle for like hours. But yeah,
No, that
get
the way
by.
I get is if I don't like holding stuff in my hand, so I'll just like throw it.
Yeah, I mean,
Just throw it. I mean, I don't
that's
want it.
could
I
not
don't
be
want to
me,
hold it
but
anymore.
respect.
Yeah, I mean, not at someone. Put it in the trash or something like that. Throw it to the
Yeah, yeah,
side.
yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
someone will use it, but um,
The thing
it.
I will say, I hate motherfuckers that just like ask for a drink of your water.
Oh yeah.
If you have a Camelback, you're just like asking for it, I feel like. But a bottle too, they're like, "Oh, can I get a sip?" And I'm like, I don't know who you are. Like, and last year was like, fresh
I mean,
after COVID. I'm like, I'm not sharing a water bottle with you. I don't know who you are.
yeah, especially Camelback because I mean, for like the ones that Rolling Loud sends out, the Rolling Loud authorized ones that are clear, you gotta fucking bite down on the thing in the sock. Like, no, you're not fucking taking a drink of my Camelback. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, never.
Finishing up night two though, I would think I would give this artist the best overall performance. I mean, obviously the guest helped a little bit, but we have the Toxic King Future.
Ooh, okay. I
I
will
mean,
say I had a couple friends that saw him and they said he like was good, but he wasn't like the best they'd seen. So that's good to hear because I would have high hopes to see Future.
in terms of like, in terms of, I feel like you factor in everything. Future are the best just because, crowd, environment, all that good stuff. It was, and he was just playing bangers. Like, I am a little upset though. He didn't play Puffin on Zooties.
Wow, that's kind of
Yeah, he
surprising.
played one new song. I can't remember which one it was.
He had to play Wait for You.
He did. Oh, he played Wait for You. That was like way towards the end of the night though. Like that was like, are we getting a Drake appearance? Because it was like weirdly late in the set.
Mm-hmm.
I think he played Holy Ghost, or it was something like really random, like
Hmm.
where Puffin on Zooties would have hit it. That's what everybody in our group talked about. We wanted Puffin on Zooties. That song is certified banger, and I feel like it definitely would have hit live.
I feel like it's
But
like the fan favorite from the album too. So I'm kind of surprised he didn't do that.
definitely. But I mean, he was bringing the fucking heat. Like he just straight banger after banger. He brought out Smirk, and then
Fire.
obviously you see the Cactus Jack fucking pop up there. I mean, I thought it was Smoke the whole time. I just didn't know who he was coming out with. And luckily Travis Scott is back, I think.
Yeah. So how many songs did Travis do? Did he do two
Uh,
songs?
so they came out to Hold That Heat. He
Uh-huh.
did Goosebumps, Antidote. He did 3 or 4 songs. I can't
Okay.
remember the other two. I mean, it was just crazy in there.
That's pretty
Obviously,
decent for sure. Like we kind of thought Travis was gonna be there, but I'm sure like it actually happening just it hits a little bit different.
yeah. And I mean, so last year in New York, obviously, the baby had the Miami controversy beforehand. They brought him back in New York. Rolling Loud just likes uncanceling people when I'm there, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
No, Travis was crazy, of course, as always. One they didn't do 3,500. I was a little upset about that one.
Yeah, so I love when they do a song that you might not expect, but since they're both there, I mean that hits a little bit different. Like I was saying about the Lil Wayne and Two Chainz thing at Chances Festival. I don't know how they didn't do No Problem with the three of them live. That would probably be the only time that would ever happen. And I feel like at Chance's own festival, he should have made it happen. But Chance like never brought out. I think actually he maybe brought out Francis and the Lights, but that's like not like a huge person. But I was hoping he'd bring out somebody big like for his stage, but then or for his set. But then you also see maybe he's trying to make it his moment for sure. So understandable. But I was really hoping we'd get some like other surprise guests to do full songs. Like that would be insane.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody goes in there with those expectations, and then they just end up disappointed. Of course,
Yeah.
sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't.
I just have too many conspiracies about what's going to happen. Like, oh yeah, he's going to be here and he's going to be here. So they got to do that together. And it like almost never happens.
Yeah, but when it does,
Oh, but when it does, yeah, it hits.
but I mean, Rolling Loud, they haven't released it. They've been teasing it for a minute. A phase 2 New York lineup. I mean, Travis is going to be in New York or California. I think that's when he makes his in the States return. That would be my guess.
I could see it.
I mean, and I feel like for the phase 2s, they hype up, bringing in other artists. They brought back, like in New York last time, they brought in Megan Thee Stallion and Trippie Redd. Like those are two huge artists, and it was kind of subtle. They just add them to the lineup. They weren't advertising, phase 2. So we'll see what happens.
So they got to do something big. They got to come correct this time for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see him again, of course. So maybe it'll happen. Moving on though to day 3. This was a very top heavy day. Everybody's really exhausted. So we decided we're going to go at like 5 or 6. So the first artist I saw was Baby Keem. He was even better.
Back.
He was even better than when we saw him in St. Louis. He was phenomenal. Like that was one of my favorite performances of the weekend as well. And then this stage was just nuts. We talked about it last week. So then he went into Kodak, or Kodak was right after Baby Keem. Obviously, Kodak in Florida. I don't even need to say anything. You know how the Jets coming. No, Kodak was very good as well. He was a lot better in Florida than New York, I thought. Although he wasn't really game. Yeah, he wasn't really singing. Oh, he's just letting them and everybody just going nuts. Very good set from him though. Then Lil Baby. So I had the option of going to see Trippie Redd or Lil Baby. Trippie Redd last year was during someone I can't remember who I wanted to see in New York. So, I was like, I'm going to stay for Baby. I feel like Trippie will be easier to see again. I feel like I could both see either of them again. It was well worth it. Lil Baby really killed it. That was one of my favorite performances of the week as well. I'd say that was probably 3. Great set list. He did really well. Crowd wasn't too crazy. So, I mean, it was just good environment there. And then, the grand finale, Kendrick Lamar, that was J. Cole type performance. Like,
yeah, you hit me up like as you like it's starting to rain a little bit, and I was like, oh no, you're about to get like a magical moment today.
Didn't rain during Kendrick, but it was just on the mic. His live voice was insane. I mean, he's got to be like number 2 behind best performance with J. Cole's number 1, of course. That's gonna be tough to top, but Kendrick was crazy. With the tour going on and everything, glad a lot of people are getting to see him because I don't know, it's like almost got me speechless. He had a perfect set list and everything. Brought out Kodak, brought out Yak, brought out Baby Keem, of course. So it's good to see, the guests from him, and it was just a great set list. I mean, I don't think I can emphasize that enough.
I need to see Kendrick. I want to see him so bad. I feel like I might have to go see him when he's in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth it, especially with Keem, Tana Leone as well. That's one person I need to see is Tana Leone. So
maybe 2nd Avenue run it back to Chicago. We'll see. We got
potentially. We'll see.
We'll see. I just want to see him so bad. I mean, there's only a couple people that I have not seen that I like have to see that I'll like be mad if I don't see before they, stop touring. the one is Childish Gambino. I had the opportunity to go see him at Lala in like 2019, I think. And I didn't go. I was like, oh, whatever. I'll see him like on his own tour. And then I didn't. I was just like, man, I fucked up right there. Like I should have seen him. I regret it to this day because he came out as a surprise guest for 21 Savage earlier in the day, and they did Monster together, which I would have killed to see that with those two together live. And then he had his own set that night, and oh man, I would have loved to see it. But I'm hoping, we get some more music eventually and it drops, and I can have a chance to see him.
Definitely. That's one I want to see as well as Gambino. I'm going to see 21 Savage in New York. That's another name right there that you just listed. So I'm checking names off the list, so we'll see what happens, of course.
So what were like some of the top most memorable songs you got to see live that you were just like, man, that hits, that bumps it up a little bit? Because I feel like every time I go to a concert, every artist has that one song that I just love a little bit more because I saw it live. Do you have any of those?
Let me think. I mean, so Cigarette, obviously by Lil Uzi, I just mentioned that one. And then like I feel like a lot of them just had such great sets that I couldn't pick out just one, but like the DJs that are just going crazy. So like I have like two very memorable songs from that. RGF Island by Fetty Wap, which is on fucking repeat. It was going crazy. And then what else did they play? Hotel Lobby by Quavo and Takeoff off Unkin Feud. That one really stuck in my head now as well. They actually came out with who did they City Girls, I think they came out with.
Oh wow, that's kind of
it was random. It was a really like it was random. Obviously I wasn't over there to see him, but one song, it's hard to pinpoint, of course. I really liked Freestyle by Lil Baby. That's been stuck in my head since.
Oh, that's one of my favorite songs by him. So I would love to see that live. I was watching some of Lil Baby's set at Lollapalooza on Hulu. Like I was just checking it out.
Yeah.
His DJ was going crazy before, like you mentioned. They even showed that on the stream, which was kind of surprising. I feel like they don't always show that. But he was playing Dreams and Nightmares. That was the first song. When I turned it on, I was like, oh man, I wish I was there. That'd be so fire. Anytime you play that in that crowd setting, it just hits.
Meek's another one I have to see. Philly legend, Philadelphia Eagles fan here. So, but yeah, I mean, I would say Freestyle by Lil Baby probably stuck out the most. Then all of Kendrick's songs were just so good. Like he had no misses. So I couldn't pinpoint one that would. Mad City, I guess, was pretty lit. So
okay, that's a classic. So that's good to hear. So if you had to compare, are you taking Rolling Loud Miami or Rolling Loud New York last year?
That's a tough one. I feel like I liked Miami a bit more just because I think New York maybe had better performances, but for Miami, I was solo, lone wolf there. I didn't have to be with anyone the whole time. So I mean, that was I guess that made the experience a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's definitely a lot of different variables, like the weather and stuff too. Definitely maybe give one a little edge over the other, but yeah, I think
yeah, I mean,
they're both good in their own way, obviously.
Definitely. I still think, just because J. Cole alone I think it just propels New York a little bit more, but 50 Cent was also amazing in New York. So I'm looking forward to another great New York Rolling Loud. I mean, another great Rolling Loud. So
not even like that far away. So we'll be hearing about that one soon too.
Less than 2 months away at this
point. Was that one in like October? When's that?
September 22nd to the 26th. So I mean, it's close.
Man, that's actually kind of crazy because Pygmalion Festival in Champaign every year is right around then. I was gonna say we should go to a concert together there, but not gonna be possible now. It's tough. I was just gonna buy 2 tickets and be like, oh yeah, let's go to this. So it's a good thing I did, and good thing we talked about this.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough for the Champaign Festival. Obviously, missing out on headliners, Nicki Minaj, ASAP Rocky. Obviously, they're occupied for that weekend. So
yeah, Champaign, they were close. They almost switched up on Rolling Loud for Pygmalion Festival, but maybe next year. Now the lineup, yeah, I feel like they always have one good rapper. This year they really don't, but there's still a couple I go to just because it's local and got to show a little love.
Definitely. I mean, it's for Rolling Loud. I feel like the last step for them, there's one big chess piece they need to get in the festival. It's Drake. I mean, everybody was fucking trying to predict when Drake was going to come out. He was going to be a special guest for Miami. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of inevitable at this point. I feel like maybe I'm gonna slow down on the Rolling Louds after New York, but I talking about it with Hayden, and we were both like, if Drake's there, that's not instant cop, for Rolling Loud especially. So
Yeah, no, that would definitely be crazy. I love festivals just because they kind of give you an opportunity to be like close up to somebody, and it's not really that expensive. I was talking about when I saw The Weeknd at Lollapalooza, I was probably in like the 10th row, 15th row, whatever. If you do that on his tour, it's going to be like hundreds of dollars. Whereas,
exactly.
one day Lala ticket's like $140 or whatever it is. So it's definitely worth it if you're willing to grind a little bit. So yeah, I definitely think if Drake or somebody was there, grinding would be worth it.
Yeah, and they're talking expanding it, to more cities in the U.S. So I mean, that was something they've been tweeting about a lot this weekend. And I mean, they are pretty true to their word. I mean, for the most part, stuff they tweet, they make happen. So
Oh, for sure. I don't know if they'd ever go Rolling Loud Chicago. Just
yeah, that's what I
because
was.
I feel
don't
like
think
it's
I don't think it would work.
I don't think it would work either. I think, Lyrical Lemonade already kind of covers what Rolling Loud would do. So unless they're really trying to compete, I don't think it makes sense. So I think they'd probably go to somewhere in Texas, maybe I could see. And then obviously they got, California, New York, I think
Philly, like
maybe
stuff.
Philly, yeah.
Yeah,
But
big
I could
cities
see
like that.
Chicago, but although Chicago is huge, obviously a huge city, but I don't know. I just don't see it happening. One thing I did see on Twitter though was they said like, they kind of hinted at what if we got Tyler for Rolling Loud, and that was pretty interesting to me. I don't know, Tyler at Rolling Loud would be kind of crazy because obviously that's a huge stage, huge festival now. But I don't know, Tyler like is a little bit different from like the sound and the styles that I imagine at Rolling Loud. You know what I mean? Like Cuddy is a little bit different too from like a Lil Baby or a Future. You know what I mean? Even Kendrick is a little bit different from what I traditionally picture with Rolling Loud. So I think Tyler would definitely go crazy, but I don't know if it's the like perfect fit.
I think that's another thing they do well though. I feel like it's like diverse. You always have like this one artist you wouldn't quite expect, I guess. Like for New York, it was 50 Cent. That was one of the main headliners. That was like, of course, he's a rapper, but you wouldn't expect him, at something like that. And then Kendrick Lamar, like you said. So I definitely think it would work. It'd just be, the certain type, just the certain fans that would be there, of course.
Mhm.
I think it is like a moshing kind of crazy environment like that for most of the artists, but I feel like when you get these performances, from like the Kendricks, 50 Cents, J. Cole's, it's like, it's unforgettable, of course, because, you have so many fans. Like, I mean, people are bound to want to see it. And I don't know. I think it would work though, personally.
Yeah, I think it would too, but it's just like I do love the variety. I love that they kind of it feels like every day they have somebody that's not as big but is very good competing at the same time as the main headliner, like the Action Bronson, like Sheck West, like I said earlier, people like that like that's a really good second option. Like if you don't want to see the star for whatever reason, there's always somebody good to close the night, and that's good because like other festivals that do like a lot of genres, you might not always get that. You might really only have one person you want to see at a specific time. So although it is kind of like an internal struggle to say, oh, this person versus that person, good to have options.
I will say in New York, after seeing Future one time, if Pusha T is at the same time, I'm gonna be at King Push. I'm gonna go see his set. So that's like one of the
I
ones
want to see Push bad.
Where there's that perfect dilemma there, perfect example for that dilemma. So
I think I'd have to see Push too.
yeah, Future was very, very good. So I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him a second time. So I mean, we're gonna see how times are, but see.
We'll see. But yeah, sounds like you had a good time at Rolling Loud for sure. So I mean, yeah, can't wait to hear about New York.
Yeah, 2 months. I mean, that's 8 episodes. So
Kind of crazy. Speaking of, only 8 episodes, whatever, all these numbers about the podcast. We've been talking about this for a while. We've been talking about for many, many episodes. The giveaway. We said we're going to give away Good Kid, Mad City, Kids See Ghosts, and a record player. And this Wednesday, we are officially going to do the giveaway. We're going to go live on Instagram, Second Avenue Pod, 7 p.m. Central Time. We're going to give them away. If you're listening to this now and you haven't entered the giveaway, go back to that post. We'll pin it on our IG. share the post, like it, comment and tag a friend, post your story. Hey, you could be winning these things, and we're going to get them to one of you very, very soon. So make sure to tune in that IG live. If you guys are trying to chat, ask a couple questions, do whatever, we'll stand there for a little while. We'll do the giveaway. We'll just chat and see what's up. We'll just hang out.
Definitely. Ready to give these away, of course. It's been years in the making. No, but it's been burning a hole right behind me. Just I hate sitting here looking at it every day. So I want to pass that on, of course.
Yeah, we got to. But yeah, I mean, I think that just about wraps up everything about Rolling Loud. So let's move into this week's news. Obviously, we got to start with this week's releases. We got albums from Wiz Khalifa, Hot Boy, Dami and JD Beck, with features on that album from Thundercat, Anderson .Paak, Busta Rhymes, Snoop Dogg, and then, of course, Beyonce's album. I honestly have not listened to Beyonce's album yet. It's one of those things where, like, I feel like I really got to be in the right, like, mood to listen to it, and I just haven't had that yet. It's only been a couple days. I need it to happen this week. I need to listen to the album. I'm hearing good things, but it just hasn't happened yet.
I mean, you know what you're gonna get from a Beyonce album. I compare like a Beyonce album to a Taylor Swift album. Like they're just gonna be bangers. Like it's not gonna be something I play every day or it's constantly in my rotation. Although off the first few listens, it was met my standards. I mean, you have one of the biggest female artists in the game, so
Nah, for sure.
Yeah, something like I said, it's not gonna get played on Ox too much, but the song's hit. So
yeah, I gotta give it a listen. Everybody's telling me I gotta listen to it, so it definitely happened this week. But so next week I'll let you know what I think. But then we got singles this week. Nav featuring Lil Baby and Travis Scott, Calvin Harris featuring Normani, Tinashe, and Offset, and then Quavo and Takeoff featuring Gucci Mane, Rod Wave, and French Montana. Did you have a chance to listen to any of these? And what was your favorite of the group if you did?
The Nav track, of course, with Baby and Travis Scott. That I think I was in like the airport or something. It just kept coming on. It was really good. I really enjoyed the track. The GOAT, of course. Shout out Devin there. You can't disrespect Nav.
Your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Yeah, no, he delivered, of course.
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite that I've heard so far. I haven't listened to all these tracks, but that song does hit. Obviously, the album did get delayed, disappointing, but we got that track, which is, it's a hit.
Yeah, I mean, we can get into the news with that. Nav pushing his album back. I mean, at least it wasn't due to sample clearances, Big emphasis on that. I don't know. What are your thoughts? You think he pushed it back because Beyonce or?
No, I really don't. I don't think Nav can like expect to. I mean, he might go number one in another week. I don't know, but obviously he knows he's not with Beyonce releasing the same week, so maybe that's the reason. But I kind of feel like there's big artists that drop every week, so I feel like although Nav is pretty big, I think it's gonna be a challenge for him to get number one no matter what the week is. But it's definitely possible with a stacked feature list like this song with Travis and Baby. So it's possible for sure.
Elm Street would be going crazy if Nav went number one.
It'd be wild.
That's throwing a block pop.
Yeah, I mean I'm not saying it's impossible, especially with the feature list, but I mean the GOAT just dropping alone, even if he doesn't go number one, everybody's gonna be happy. So yeah.
Exactly. And they delivered with that single. So I'm interested to see what we get.
Yeah, I feel like Nav does get clowned, but he always got a couple hits on every album, so you can't really hate.
He's gonna come with the slappers, of course.
Facts. Some other news this week: Kim K tweets "Free Gunna." What are your thoughts on this?
I think I was riding to the airport or like about to leave for the airport, and I saw that. She's right. I tried to keep a count of how many times I heard "Free YSL" this weekend, but it was just an astronomical amount. I lost count. Baby obviously did his Thug and Gunna tribute, so it was lit to see that, of course. Not much needs to be said though. Free them, free YSL.
Yeah, facts. But it was honestly one of those things where it's like I didn't believe it was a real tweet. I was like, this is photoshopped.
No,
I just saw a screenshot of it and I was like, no way she would tweet this. Because I feel like the Kardashians, they're so like calculated with their moves and stuff. It is pretty late. I feel like they're so calculated with everything they do though that like some people might be like, oh my God, they're supporting, criminals or, whatever. But like
they're supporting racketeering.
Yeah, but like she's with it apparently. So yeah, it was crazy.
Hey, she's
Almost
pushing P.
unbelievable. Yeah, pushing P for sure. The P emoji. I haven't seen that in a minute, but she dropped it, so it was hard.
Kardashians are very locked in the rap game. I feel like,
Oh
but
yeah,
in the music game in general. I mean,
for sure.
they are some of the biggest celebrities out there. So it's good to see it.
Oh yeah, they got to be tapped in for sure. So good to see. Some other news this week: Jay Electronica hints towards potentially joining Griselda. You know, Griselda, one of the most stacked labels, groups, whatever you want to say, in the industry right now. So I mean, getting a heavy hitter and a legend like Jay Elec, that'd be big.
Yeah, no, that was like back to New York a little bit. That was one of the ones I wanted to see, but I think once again J. Cole was performing, so unfortunately I had to miss it. But you know that they're deep, very deep. Kind of a power move here, but
Yeah, I think, I mean, he's like, he's kind of older. So like him like joining something new is kind of surprising this late in his career. But I mean, I feel like, I don't know, I don't want to say late in his career because he could be dropping music for a minute longer, but be kind of surprising to see because I feel like he is, so well respected and big without, being a part of a group. So I'd love to see it though. I'd love some collabs with him and the Griselda members though, for sure. I need that.
definitely just something we'll have to follow, of course.
Facts. Then obviously we said that we recorded pretty early last week, so we did not get to give our thoughts on Joey Badass's album 2000, but we have some updates. Of course, Joey Badass and Mac Miller both sell 22,000 first week. Mac Miller, of course, with his I Love Life Thank You mixtape officially coming streaming services, and then like I said, Joey Badass's album 2000. Good to see these numbers. Kind of crazy that they're both around the same level though.
No, definitely, especially with it being the Mac album just coming to streaming services. I feel like the Joey Badass project perfectly fits the theme of this year is underrated projects. They're amazing. They fly under the radar, don't sell fucking hundreds of thousands first week, but they deserve it. I mean, I really enjoyed the project. We haven't talked about it at all, but
no, yeah, I think we should talk about it a little bit. I mean, I thought this was a great album from Joey. He posted on his Instagram, it was a little like grid of 1999 and 2000, and then it was number 8 Kobe and number 24 Kobe. I had to share that. I was like, that is hard.
that was
I
tough.
Totally get it too. Like it just fits 100% because it's kind of like, 8 Kobe was kind of learning the game, doing his thing, and then 24 Kobe, that was the master. That was the GOAT of the next generation. He was the one everybody was looking to, and that was kind of Joey. He was upcoming with 1999. He was getting that respect. He was getting those accolades, getting that love. And now he's, one of the most respected out, one of the most proven track records. And yeah, he delivered again on 2000. It's one of my favorite projects of the year so far, for sure.
Definitely. And, I hate for a single that released beforehand to be my favorite track of the album, but Survivor's Guilt is just phenomenal track. Absolutely phenomenal. That's got to be one of my favorite tracks of the year so far.
That one's so good. I love Brand New 911 with Westside Gunn. Speaking back to the Griselda boys, that one goes crazy. But Show Me might be my favorite one. The sample on Show Me, oh my God. I was going crazy the first time I heard it. I feel like that sample, I feel like I've heard it before. I don't know where, I don't know if I have, but it somehow sounded just so familiar. And I loved it. I love the vibe that song had. Great production. Maybe one of my favorite tracks for sure. So
definitely insane project. If you haven't listened to it yet, go give it a listen. Let's get that 22K. Let's double. Let's get him 44K for the second week.
Let's do it. All right, let's go into our last piece of news here. Barack Obama releases his summer playlist. So this summer playlist, we got a lot of different names here. We got some Drake, we got some D'Angelo, we got some Vince Staples, we got some Otis Redding,
Lauryn Hill floating around in there as well.
Lauryn Hill, Casey Musgraves, Kendrick Lamar, The Internet. We got some good names here.
That's just half the list, though. Yeah, we just have half the list pulled up. I just chose a random one out of the two, but I mean, you love to see Magic by Vince Staples. That one like randomly came on the plane ride, and I was like, oh my God, this track is fucking like amazing. Like, obviously, didn't fly under the radar too much for me. Obviously, it's in commercials and shit, but I don't know. That one's like, it's coming back with its second life in my rotation. It's appearing a lot, and it was weird that my boy Barry were locked in. He must have heard it in the whip. We were cruising around, and
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I always see people be like, does Obama really listens to stuff. Like, who knows? But it's a pretty good list. Like, there's a lot of good songs there.
Good variety as well.
Good variety. The Casey Musgraves inclusion, love that, obviously. But then obviously, gotta show love to the rappers. Vince Staples, especially. I mean, that's crazy. Like you were kind of talking about, it's a big song. It's in commercials. I saw Vince Staples in like an Acura commercial the other day, and I was like,
yeah, no, that
oh
was
my god! Like I didn't know he was on that level like that, but it was good to see.
Yeah, I mean, like we've talked about before, he's a very marketable person, just with his personality and everything, and then upcoming TV show as well on Netflix. So, I mean, just he's a very marketable person outside of music, even. So,
100%. Like he could have a career beyond music anytime he wants to, just because that's how great of a person he is, how interesting a person he is. So, yeah, great to see.
Definitely, but I think it about wraps it up. A little bit shorter of an episode. I'm not sure where we're at on timing and everything. But it's slow news week. Obviously, then the topic, it was not too. It was good one, but I feel like you can't go too in depth in it without going on and on. So.
Yeah, had to talk about Rolling Loud though. It deserved its own episode. Obviously, a lot to be talked about. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And as always, we'll see you guys next week.
So guys, stay tuned for the giveaway.
Stay tuned, guys. Peace.